Naruto's final form is finally revealed in the Boruto anime, and oh my god, was it glorious, dude. They did such a good job on this episode. The form had this godly music playing behind it. The whole transformation scene was just epic as balls. And I loved this episode. It was so good. The animation wasn't like crazy top tier like some of the other previous episodes we've seen, like 65 and Kawaki's introduction, even the Verse Jigen episode, but the art direction, the colors, the music, composing, everything was really solid in this episode. I loved this episode of Boruto. We have so much to talk about because Naruto's final form is finally here. The Baryon Mode. This review is coming up in this breakdown right after this message. This video is sponsored by Mech Arena, the most action-packed shooting game to hit your mobile device. It's the perfect game for people who don't have a lot of time on their hands like they used to. I can play 2 or 3 matches in less than 10 minutes and still get in a really fun game. The maps are tight and designed for short, intense gameplay with tons of encounters and respawns. You guys can add me as a friend in-game with this username and ID. There's tons of awesome different mechs that you can acquire, each with different abilities and skins that you can put on them. One thing I love about Mech Arena is all of the various robots that you can customize to your liking and take them on these super cool looking maps battling against other players online. There's so many different mechs and weapons to fit your playstyle. The lightning gun is one of my personal favorites. Mech Arena has just launched globally and they're running a huge celebration event in-game right now. It's completely free to play on iOS and Android, and you can use my personal link or the QR code you're seeing right here to get 1 millispec skin, 500 A coins, and 70,000 credits to help you kickstart your game. Okay, so a lot of things happened in this episode. First of all, let's talk about the fact that Boruto brought Ishiki here to this other dimension using the karma, right? He's got Momoshiki's karma inside of him and he's learned to somehow use and control it to use a teleportation interdimensional jutsu, time-space jutsu, similar to Ishiki and Sasuke as well. Naruto goes in, but we saw Naruto can't do anything to Ishiki. This dude's power level, his battle power, his jutsu, his taijutsu is so strong, dude. And I don't know if it's because like maybe he ate some chakra fruit in the past or what. Like they never really explain why his taijutsu is so incredibly strong, but even when Naruto goes into Kyuubi mode with Sage mode on top of it, like he still can't land a punch on this dude. I mean, that should be a testament to how insanely strong Ishiki is in physical combat, and you also can't use jutsus on him because he can nullify them using his own karma or just shrink them into nothing. So this dude is just like top tier god at this point. I guess it's because he must have gone to different planets eating chakra fruits and just gave him crazy strength and speed and stuff like that. But yeah, Naruto charges in, tries to do something. He can't do anything to this guy. And also Naruto and Sasuke went all out against Jigen, which was like the inferior form of Ishiki, right? Like the real form of Ishiki was inside Jigen, and when he came out, it was stated that he's just a way stronger opponent. So if they can't beat Jigen, what the heck are they going to do against Ishiki? Well, it's their final stand. Like they have to do something. Amato set this whole plan up because Naruto and Sasuke are the strongest ninjas pretty much in the world right now, and nobody else can go up against Ishiki. So this is their only hope, is that if Naruto and Sasuke can somehow figure out, they got like a 3% chance to somehow beat this guy out in this other dimension, and if they lose, everybody on the world's dead. So, yeah, do your best, Naruto and Sasuke. That's the plan from Amato. Ishiki just takes Boruto and flies up in the air with him, and Sasuke uses the Rinnegan to switch places. And you see multiple times throughout this episode and previously in the Boruto anime, like how much Ishiki hates the Rinnegan. I think it's because it's an eye power that actually rivals his own strength. It's like a godly level power, right? Sasuke, even with that, you know, he comes in with the Chidori, and he just can't touch Ishiki. Like, Ishiki just catches his arm, he beats the living crap out of Sasuke. And I know a lot of fans, when this first chapter came out and we saw this fight go down in the manga, fans were really disappointed. They're like, why is Sasuke so nerfed? Why can't he do anything? He's got this whole arsenal of techniques and eye powers, and all he's doing is the Chidori. Well, I mean, he can't really do much else because any sorts of jutsus that he used can either get nullified or absorbed and or shrunk, and so all he can really do is use physical combat, right? He can use the Rinnegan to teleport around, and he can use his sword. Even Chidori doesn't, like, you know, it's nothing. And you're talking about he has to go hand-to-hand combat with an opponent, which is the strongest hand-to-hand combat person possibly in the universe. I mean, we haven't seen the rest of the Otsutsuki. Hopefully we'll learn about that in the Boruto manga sooner or later, because there's got to be more of these guys, right? Yeah, Sasuke just gets crushed in this episode. I mean, it's sad to see, because like he's supposed to be so strong, but it's like, yeah, any technique he would use would just get absorbed, nullified, or shrunk. So this is really the best he can do. What's he gonna do? Just like waste chakra and like, you know, create like Indra's arrow and the man just shrinks it into nothing, or absorbs it or something like that. Like, you know, he can't do all that stuff. So we get this opening dialogue between Amado and Kawaki. Kawaki's incredibly surprised that his karma is gone, and this is Amado's whole plan the whole time, is essentially get Ishiki to force himself to use his resurrection technique with the karma, while Kawaki wasn't 100% fully Otsutsufied yet, and that way the karma would disappear on him, and he would only have 2 days left to live. But if they were able to stall, then Ishiki would die before he was able to find a new vessel. So they're hiding Kawaki in the Leaf Village right now, while Naruto, Sasuke, and Boruto are just trying to like hold on for dear life until those 2 days run out. Naruto's going all out against this guy, like full Kurama mode, making tons of shadow clones, and Sasuke's working with him, coming in from his back with the Chidori, you know, as Naruto grabs him with the QB energy and everything. But we see that Ishiki like has, you know, this dude has like an arsenal of techniques, and he also has an arsenal of, I guess you would call them like artifacts or assets or items like in this other dimension shrunk, and he can use his eye power to bring them into our dimension and make them the massive size again. So he starts like dropping like his signature move, which is these like giant like chakra cubes, I guess you would call them, because later on in the manga, Naruto says that like these cubes are preventing me from like reading chakra and stuff like that. But yeah, he's just basically creating these giant cubes out of thin air and just slamming them down on people. And Sasuke knows he's about to get crushed, so he has to like save himself while like Naruto gets crushed, but luckily it was just a shadow clone. Bro, seeing Sasuke get beat up like this in physical combat, it's just hard to watch, dude. I mean, Ishiki is just spin kicking this man like a dreidel. I mean, it's just, Sasuke just got destroyed in this episode. I know there's gonna be some salty Sasuke fans out there for sure. Naruto's on his back foot trying to escape all these giant chakra cubes from Ishiki, and comes in with the Rasengan. You know, Ishiki just like blinks and they just disappear. So again, like it's just a testament to how strong this dude is. Like, you can't use any jutsus on him, so how are you supposed to beat him in physical combat? It's pretty much impossible until we see the end of the episode. Oh man, and the part where like Naruto just keeps getting stabbed by all the chakra rods. It was so brutal to watch. Like, not only can he not touch Ishiki, he's just ultra instinct dodging all of Naruto's punches and everything, but then he's just like blinking around, and these chakra rods are just starting to pierce Naruto like crazy, and you just feel the pain from it. I mean, this part was really well animated, this kind of hand-to-hand combat scene. You just felt like, you're like, damn. I mean, Naruto and Sasuke, the strongest ninjas in the world, so we think, just getting dumpstered on. And then it looks like he gets stabbed in the spine. Like, oh my god. It looks so painful, dude. And then Ishiki just boots him in the face. I mean, he's like Naruto and Sasuke are nothing compared to him. I mean, he's not even, only thing he was worried about in the whole episode pretty much was the Rinnegan. Like, that's it. Other than that, he's just making Naruto and Sasuke look like Genin over here. We get some more very beautiful artistic direction with this shot of Ishiki. They can make Ishiki look like really good, and sometimes he looks like really wonky, I guess because the varying artists they have on this. But yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna crush you with, you're on top of a chakra cube, and I'm going to summon another one on top of you, on top of that, and just straight up crush him. So we see Boruto digging out Sasuke from this rubble, and Sasuke looks over and just sees Ishiki looking at him like, "You're next, motherfucker." I'd be scared. I'd be scared to death right now. And then Ishiki goes in for the kill on Boruto, even though he knows that he can't kill Boruto, which we'll talk about in a minute. He needs Boruto actually to sacrifice to the Ten Tails tree, which we learned in this episode. But he knows that Sasuke is also going to save Boruto, so he sends some chakra rods at him, and Sasuke teleports himself in front of the chakra rods and takes 7 rods into his body. And you gotta remember, Sasuke can't heal like Naruto, so those rods are heavy damage, very, very brutal, blood coming out of his mouth and everything. It's not looking good for our boy Sasuke right now. Oh, I'm sorry, they just zoomed out. He actually has 11 rods in him. Jesus Christ. So he says, honestly, when it comes to the both of you, and this is an homage to the very early Naruto episode where Haku is creating, he's like throwing all those like needles around, and Sasuke saves Naruto there, and that causes Naruto to unleash his first QB transformation. And yeah, so we're getting that again, but this time it's Sasuke saving Boruto. Ishiki creates another, or I shouldn't say creates, but he brings into this dimension another gigantic chakra cube to crush Sasuke, and Boruto comes in with the Rasengan to save him. This scene was actually very cool. Like, I gotta admit that they really did a good job giving the manga justice. Like, I feel like the anime outdid the manga in this episode, and that's hard to say. Like, that's not usually the case in anime, because usually like the manga is the first thing you see. You have so much imagination built up from looking at the panels and everything that when you see the anime, you're like, oh, they didn't do it justice, right? They definitely did it justice here. It was nice to see Boruto step up to the plate, screaming his heart out, trying to save his master Sasuke. And that's when Ishiki shrinks the chakra cube, and Boruto learns that you can't kill me because you need me to feed me to the Ten Tails. So now we get the scene with Naruto inside his inner self where he's talking to Kurama, and we get the dialogue for the Baryon Mode, where Kurama tells him, if you're ready to put your life on the line and you're gonna die anyway, we can use a technique, which I've never told you about, that if we use it, you'll die. But if you're gonna die anyway, you might as well use it. And I just love the artistic direction that they did with this scene, with Naruto floating in this like kind of sea of cosmic red. Just the compositing choices on this were just beautiful. Like, I love it. It's like very ominous and reminiscent of blood and death. And when Naruto's like, yeah, I'm sure, let's do it. I've been prepared to die ever since I was a Hokage, you know, pretty much ever since I became a ninja. Let's do this, right? And you see him just explode with energy, and it's like the music starts playing and he bursts out of the cubes like, oh my god, let's go, dude. So you get this just beautiful epic scene with the chorus in the background. You hear this faint like distant explosion go off. Ishiki turns around and looks, and you see Naruto fly in at him in his new final form, the Baryon Mode, which is like a nuclear fusion of energies between Naruto and Kurama. They did such a good job animating this part. Between the colors, the pacing, the music, like everything about this is perfect. Like, it's just straight up perfect. Like, they literally could not have made this transformation for Naruto better than it was, in my opinion. I love how he's like, there's no need to worry anymore, Boruto. I am here. Like, no, he doesn't say that. He says, I'll take him down. But it's very reminiscent of like All Might or something. I mean, they made it like super epic. Like, they definitely went like all in on the epicness. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode. But I think he looks fantastic. I love the color choices, how it's like red. I just love the way he looks, how powerful he seems. And in the next episode is gonna be so sick, because we're gonna see Naruto in his Baryon Mode go all out against Ishiki. Well, not really all out, because Kurama tells him that, you know, you want to fight like a boxer, just trying to get points on the scorecard. Like, just tap him as many times as you can to activate the effect of the Baryon Mode. So I'm not gonna get too much in the spoilers here, but oh my god, am I hyped for this next episode, dude. I feel like I have a feeling that the next episode, they're gonna go crazy animation on it. They seem to do that for like all the mega hype fights and mega hype episodes in Boruto, and I have a good feeling that episode 217 is gonna be one of the best episodes out there. Like, it's gonna be amazing. Make sure you guys are subscribed with notifications enabled. Comment down below, let me know what you thought about this episode. I really loved it. Obviously, I can't say it enough. This was like a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 episode in my book, and I think the next one's gonna be like 11 out of 10. Like, it's just gonna be so sick. I can't wait to see this form in action. I'm Mastar, and I'll see you guys on the next video.